Hi, welcome back. Thank you for joining my channel, Positively Teal. Today, I just wanted to ask you, do you ever feel overwhelmed? Like you have something you want to do, accomplish, learn, anything like that, and you just don't know where to start? Well, I've got an idea for you. Um, it is called Stack the Dishes. This one actually came to me when I was talking to a friend of mine a while ago, years and years and years ago, and she was telling me about just the daily things in life that overwhelm her. Um, so she was just telling me like the condition of her home. That was this example. Well, she had asked me, I just don't know where to start. What do I do? Like, I walk into my kitchen, I look around, and I'm like, no, I can't. What, where do I go? What do I do? And I just told her, stack the dishes. She just looked at me and I said, once you start with one small task and see the difference and impact it can make, it can become very motivating. So you start with stacking the dishes. And then after that, you run the water, you soak the dishes. While the dishes are soaking, you start cleaning up the garbage on the countertops. And before you know it, all these tiny little micro tasks equal to the big task being accomplished. And she's like, that would actually work for me. Just the visual impact of seeing something add up and help her accomplish her goal, that would work. So the way this applies to other things is, for example, if you've never done a budget before, your stack the dishes is going to be start with a list of all the bills, how much, and when they're due. That's it. Just start there. And then if that motivated you, keep going with listing the debts. I know that one gets a little rough, but it is important to know. List your debts, how much, when they're due, and then the balances. And before you know it, you've got a budget right there with your exit column and then your paychecks coming in. And I've got a whole video I can show you about how I do my budget and how you don't pay late fees. Um, to make sure and so you don't strangle a paycheck. But anyway, your stack the dishes is just starting with a list of all the bills when they're due. So you just see how much, and you'd be surprised how many people uh, don't know that step. If you're trying to lose weight, start with a meal plan. Actually, I've learned, especially now in my 40s, that weight loss comes more from diet than exercise. I go to the gym about 5 days a week on my lunch break. Doesn't make anything move or budge anymore. But if I start watching my portions or what I eat, that's what gets it done. So a meal plan. And then for me, I found success on doing meal preps on Sundays. So I get my dinners ready, and then those dinners become next day's lunch. But on Sunday, get everything cut up, seasoned, portioned in the fridge. And then that has also bought back a bunch of my time during the week. But it started weight loss with a meal plan. All these little things that just seem insignificant have massive impact. And truthfully, your baby steps typically get you to your goal faster than these giant leaps that you think are gonna is what it takes to accomplish. It's actually the trick. Um, for example, in what I do for a living, I work in a call center in like finance collections, and I hear it all the time. Oh, I'm just gonna save up and then pay it off all at once. Most of those people don't. You never hear from them again, or things come up. But the people that start with smaller payments and take bites out of it over time and consistently are the ones who end up paying off their accounts or paying back their balances or anything like that. So you have to remember, um, your smaller steps are going to be what it takes to accomplish majority of your goals. There are some bigger things that are unavoidable. I'm not discounting that, but for the most part, like in weight loss, focus on making the meals and having, what am I trying to say? Sorry. All right. So, focus on making sure your dinners are right. the portions are proper. You know, if you only have the energy for like one meal a day, make it dinner because you don't want to load up on a bunch of calories before bed. It's not good. Um, and then take that as a victory. Like one mess up doesn't derail everything, but slowly over time, getting dinners right. Hopefully, if you can power through leftovers, it took me several years, but then you have healthier lunches if you made healthier dinners with the leftovers. And then the same thing with accomplishing your household chores. Start with stacking the dishes or picking up the laundry or something, but those small tasks is going to be what it takes to get this stuff done. If you need advice, direction, recommendations, I highly recommend the book Atomic Habits. It's pretty much all it talks about is these tiny little micro habits is what it takes to get the big goal accomplished. Constant little consistencies, and I can say that that has worked out in my own life many times over. It worked with my weight loss, it worked with our debt payoff, it's worked with now the new goal is wealth building, and I can see these tiny little steps are adding up. There's not really been any giant leaps and bounds there, it's just small steps. So remember when you're feeling overwhelmed and you don't know where to start, just start with stacking the dishes and see where that takes you. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing. You are my marketing plan. And I do want to add value to your life and to anyone you think might need to hear this. And I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on another video.